guys, welcome back to the show. We are waiting for spray foam to be completed on our current build, so I went ahead and knocked out some Backsplash. We're going to share that today before we get started. If you're a self-builder, we have a Patreon account where we talk about different self-building topics to help you build your dream house, shop, whatever the case may be, so check that out. Also, we can help you with designing your post frame home or building. Emails design@MrPostFrame for that, but let's go ahead and jump into tile backsplash in our kitchen. Before we get started, I'll go ahead and show you the materials that you'll need. You're gonna need a way to cut your tile. I'm using 4x8 tiles, so they're not huge tiles, but I have a tile saw that I've owned for a long time, so you're gonna need some way to cut your tile. You're gonna need mastic or tile adhesive. This is going right to drywall, so that's what I choose to use. You're gonna need a trowel, a small trowel. You're going to need some spacers if you're choosing to space your tile. So whatever that space is, that's the kind of spacer you're going to need. You're going to need a level. You're going to need a screwdriver to take your outlet covers off. I usually will buy some longer outlet screws so outlet can come out the thickness of my tile. So I'll just go to the hardware store and buy extended screws so that when I put that tile on, the outlet will rest on that. So that's really all you're going to need. It's pretty simple. Your countertop should be nice and level. You should probably check that just in case it isn't, but I just run mine right along the top of my countertop, spacing it up just so I can get grout and silicone there to seal it. But I think that's about all you need, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take all the outlet covers off. We have a pot filler here, so I'll take the trim off that so I can work that tile around that. But how I choose to do mine, so on this wall, the tile is going to go up in between these two cabinets around the vent hood, so I want that tile to be evenly spaced in there. So I found the center of the wall there, and then I'll start there and work my way out, so that way when I go up between those cabinets, the cut pieces on the outside edge are going to match equally as they go up. Alright, we have our first course all done, and just like everything you do in construction, that first course is the most important. And although your countertop should be perfectly level, this was slightly off. So you can see there's a little bit bigger gap there than there is right here. But now that I got that first course set, we should be good to run all this pretty quickly, other than cutting around. But I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. And like I told you, I based this whole layout off of this because this tile is going to go up, and I wanted it to be, my cut pieces to be equal on each side of this. So just keep that in mind when you're doing something like this. And I also find it easier just to back butter the tiles and put them up as I go. Alright guys, here's my tile saw setup. It's a MK 101. I've had this thing for probably 10 years, and it does a really good job. I do enough tile jobs with all the remodels I've done. This thing is more than paid for itself. I think it was around $1,000 bucks. But if you think, if you're going to do a couple tile jobs, I mean, you can buy cheaper saws, but you get what you pay for with these saws. But if you think, if you're not going to hire it out and you're going to do several tile jobs in your house or maybe some remodels you're doing, this definitely is worth it and will pay for itself. So definitely always wear eye protection so little chips of porcelain don't come in your eye or tile. And safety, hearing protection. So I'll just cut in on both sides, then make a series of cuts all the way to here. Then that'll let those pieces break off, and then you just go back and forth a few times to get your bottom cut. Works out pretty good. I always plan out my tile so it intersects. There's two pieces that intersect a light switch or outlet. That way I don't have anything that ends up in the middle of the tile. There's always two tiles that cover it. Alright guys, I have all of this done. I just went up like a row and a half here, so I'll have to build in my custom vent hood and then tile up. Got this little section done. And now I gotta tackle this, and unfortunately the wife wants that moved she's now decided that she wants to make the closet over there a coffee bar. That's right. Brand new house, less than 2 years in here, and I'm going to be doing remodeling. So, I've measured over, and I'm hoping I get lucky because that box is right here. So I'm hoping I can just cut the drywall out, get the screws out that are holding that box, and spin it around and put it right here, because there'll be a counter in here, coffee bar, shelves. I'm not sure where my office is going. I already got evicted from the original office and I got put in this closet. And let me tell you, I want to get out of the closet and get into a real office. But I'm going to cut some drywall out right now. Can't believe this is happening. Oh baby, I think I'm gonna get lucky. Right there is the water line box. Alright, so there's the water line. I'm hoping that I can just spin this thing around. And get it here in this corner. And hopefully that'll work for what her plan is. We'll have to find out. Alright, well, we're continuing this little transformation here, and I got to cut the drywall out here because not only I did luck out and I was able just to switch that water supply, just basically do a 180, and I can fasten it on this side of the wall now. But now we need to add some outlets over here, so I'm hoping I can jump off this kitchen outlet, and since there'll be water in here, it'll just be on that same 20 amp GFCI circuit. But I'm taking this drywall out, and I'm going to show you a little trick here on how I find the drywall screws. So I have my small magnetics to be the level, and it's got these circles, which is really awesome for this. So I know there's a row of screws right here. So I'll just put that down, go up until it magnetizes itself. Then I just tip it up, and I know there's a screw somewhere right in here. And then we'll just do that up the wall. Should be another screw nail or screw up here somewhere. Right there. But anyway, you get the point. Now I can reuse this piece of drywall. Once I get it all out, hopefully I can just put it right back in there once I get my outlets in. Alright, I'm going to run power from this outlet. I'm going to go through there, I'll have an outlet there, and there for the coffee makers. The water's going to go right here. So now I just got to run my wires, put my boxes up, and then I can put this all back together. Alright guys, I got this all wired up now. So I pulled power off this kitchen 20 amp GFCI circuit. So these two outlets are on that. And then I went ahead and put a double in case, and ran a wire from here up to here in case we want to put any kind of under cabinet lighting there. The wire's there. If we don't, no big deal. But if we do, it's there. I'm just trying to think ahead. So now I'm going to put all this drywall back in and mud and tape it. All right guys, so I gotta finish this top row, but I wanted to get these switches all hooked up. And I'm gonna be doing some under cabinet lighting, and this is a Switch X switch for under cabinet lighting. So I've got high voltage coming into the bottom of the switch, and then low voltage going out. So you can't have high voltage wire and low voltage wire in the same box. So there is a 12-2 running up into the cabinet, into this junction box, and then from there all of my low voltage wire breaks off to my cabinets. But I wanted to get this switch hooked up. I'll show you the box once we get it all, we get to that point, but I just wanted to show you this before I pack it in there. I mean, it is a substantial size, but this is an all-in-one. This is the transformer, everything. So you don't have to have the driver. There's nothing you have to put on top of the cabinets. All you need is this and your tape light, and you're pretty much good to go. So they are really expensive. They're like $150 to $200, somewhere in that range. But this is all you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this fastened in there so I can get the lights back on.
If they fall down there, that's okay. Daddy will get them because there's already one down there.
Good job, kiddo.
Oh. Oopsies.
All right, we're getting ready to grout. And I like to put tape down along the edges just to make clean up a little bit better. I think it's gonna look really good. All right, so we got our grout in. We just got a little bit left. We're mixing up some more. Then basically, as soon as we get that done, we're gonna wash this down with a sponge. And then about 20 minutes later, we'll wipe it all down one more time. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We will bring you the next video on this little phase of this project. I'm adding under cabinet lighting, so I'll show you how I do that and how I prepared for that. And also we will show you how this little coffee bar closet turns out. So as always, we appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you on the next video.